What's going on, guys? It's Kai, and on this channel we're going to be looking at all things that make us money. I upload weekly on this channel, so if you are new, hit that subscribe button. Just letting you know, I'm not a financial advisor, but everything I bring you is straight facts, so let's jump into the video. Today we're going to be looking at Healthier Choices Management Corporation. The ticker symbol is Hcmc, and I believe this penny stock is going to fly, and we're going to make a lot of money from this stock, so stay tuned of all the evidence I'm going to bring you and what I think it's going to do in the future. So if we take a look at Hcmc's website, as you can tell, they're like a healthy based brand. So their primary focus is on safer vaping technology, as well as synthetic or imitation nicotine compositions, processes, and methods of manufacture. We dive into what the company is actually about. This is a company overview. Healthier Choices Management Corporation is a US-based publicly traded company specializing in providing consumers with healthier alternatives to everyday lifestyle choices. Hcmc continues to innovate and hope to expand their suite in the future. Most recently, the company formed a wholly owned subsidiary, Hcmc Intellectual Property Holdings, to hold and market its intellectual property assets. This subsidiary will own all of the patents, trademark, and other intellectual property of Hcmc and will be utilized in the company's attempt to monetize its intellectual property. Under its wholly owned subsidiary, Healthy Choices Markets and Health Choice Markets, Hcmc own both ADA's Natural Market, an 18,000 square foot service grocery store serving Fort Myers in Florida, and 3 Paradise Health and Nutrition locations in Greater Melbourne FL area. What they kind of focus on is all like the healthy stuff, which, you know, is a big thing in today. You know, you got a lot of those vegan companies and, you know, health-based companies that are actually growing and thriving. But as we see here, a big part of their company is the fact that they focus on, you know, the vaping and nicotine alternatives. And this is where we see the evidence pieced together. Them suing Phillip Morris is going to kind of take place and how it's taken place. So just taking a look at the charts of Hcmc, we're going to look at the 5 days chart here. So right here, they're trading at 1/4 cent here, and they've had spikes of up to nearly 1/2 cent. And at the minute, we're just chilling here on the market about 1/2 cent completely. And obviously we tipped over about highs of 0.0063. If we look at their kind of days range, this is sort of where they're averaging around. However, the one thing that stands out to me is the fact that they've got a really, really large market cap. But their market cap is sitting at $536 million. So overall, Hcmc, like I said, is a really, really low cost stock, and I think this is why I believe the things in place that we can make a lot of money from this. Obviously, getting in this early, I think we're going to see some really big gains. So let's get into the first piece of evidence, and this probably is why most people are here and most people have heard about this stock. Healthier Choices Management Corp files patent infringement lawsuit against Phillip Morris. Healthier Choices Management Corporation today announced filing of the patent infringement lawsuit against Phillip Morris USA Corporated and Phillip Morris Product SA in connection with their own product known as the market as IQOS. The lawsuit was filed in the United District Court for the Northern District of Georgia. The international law firm Cozen O'Connor has been engaged to represent Hcmc in this matter. Hcmc's lawsuit includes claims that Phillip Morris is infringing Hcmc's patent rights in connection with IQOS, an alternative tobacco company marketed and sold by Phillip Morris. Phillip Morris claims that it is currently approaching 40 million users of its IQOS product, has reportedly invested over $3 billion in their smokeless tobacco product. Phillip Morris has also been very open about their ongoing transition from traditional fully combustible cigarettes to their modified risk tobacco products. What they're doing is basically Phillip Morris has used a product of theirs and kind of claimed it as their own and is just selling it, and they're openly talking about how much volume they're making, how much money they're making from this product. Obviously, this is Hcmc's Healthy Choices Management Corporation's product, and they're kind of saying, hey, look, this is our product. You're raving about how much profit you're making, but we haven't seen any of that. So they're taking them to court, patent infringement law. And this is not the only product that they've actually done this with. They've actually done this with quite a few of their products, which would go into a few more articles about this too. This product is actually a marijuana based product. I mean, I'm not really screwed on onto all of this, but I think it's used for like not just tobacco, basically a vaporizer. And also there's an article that I found on the Reddit page, which is on r/Hcmc. Patent assets owned by Hcmc is the Q Cup, Q Quick Tea, and the Q Wick G. So a list of these products along here. So there's just been a little bit of extra news that's been released of Phillip Morris's International Incorporated 2020 annual report. And what it actually states is, it is possible that our consolidated results of operations, cash flows, or financial positions could be materially affected in particular fiscal quarter or fiscal year by an unfavorable outcome of settlement or uncertain litigation. Nevertheless, though litigation is a subject of uncertainty, we and each of our subsidiaries named as a defendant believe, and each has been so advised by
by counsel handling the respective cases that we have been valid defences to litigation pending against us, as well as valid basis for appeal of adverse verdict. All such cases are and will continue to be vigorously defended. However, we and our subsidiaries may enter into a settlement discussion in particular cases if we believe it is within our best interest to do so. So what they're actually stating is the fact that they're willing to pay the settlement fee, that Hcmc are looking for that settlement fee to grow them. This is really, really positive, the fact that they've actually come out and said this. However, there is another company that are currently suing Phillip Morris as of now, and it's called BAT, called the Brazilian American Tobacco Company, and they filed a patent suit against Phillip Morris IQOS products. You never know, like there's two companies that are currently battling for this absolute giant, Phillip Morris, but you know, ultimately they're saying if they've got a good enough case and a good enough fight to them, they are willing to pay a settlement fee. I don't think it's a late time to get in whatsoever.
So if we take a look at what Phillip Morris is and kind of where they're sat at in the stock market, Phillip Morris is currently trading at $85.23. They have a market cap of $132 billion. It's massive. What Hcmc is kind of asking for is $1.6 billion in a kind of settlement fee. They were a $132 billion company. The $1.6 billion isn't massive for them. If this was to be successful, this is definitely one of the options that I think Phillip Morris as a company would be definitely looking into. Just taking a look at like the monthly chart of Phillip Morris, you know, they've had some really, really healthy gains. They're slowly increasing. They're clearly doing well as a company. They're patent infringing a product of Hcmc. It's a very big allegation from a company. You need to have very, very solid evidence to kind of come to them and do this and get all these lawyers involved and spend a lot of money. I mean, we're talking about a company with like a tiny fraction amount of market cap. The fact that they're willing to invest this and put all their money on the line for this one thing, I think that says a lot. And just another piece of evidence that we've got here is the fact that Hcmc has actually turned their preferred stock into common stock. So Hcmc announces the sale of $5 billion of preferred stock convertible into common stock, initially at 150% premium to company's most recent closing price. I'm just going to kind of summarize this whole entire article. What it's saying is typically when you work within a company, you will get a preferred stock price, which is a cheaper stock price to the one you would purchase out on like the common stock market. But what they've actually done is they've sold their preferred stock at the cheaper price, buy at the common stock price. So you can see bigger gains, and obviously they can do whatever they like with those sort of gains, your own money that's being invested. And they've pulled $5 billion from preferred stock into common stock. You know, this is a big number, especially when it's a sub penny stock. This is how confident that they're putting everything on the line. And the fact is, if this goes to $1, $2, $3, whatever they're estimating within the end of the year, they could be sat on a lot of money. This stock is a very, very high risk play, and I believe that they are focusing their whole entire company and relying all their resources on one thing, is to get their patent infringement cost back. Basically, they're trying to sue Phillip Morris to make all their money. This is a big risky move because obviously you can lose, right? There's kind of three outcomes that can happen from this sort of thing. The first one is that Phillip Morris decides, right, okay, we don't want to take this any further. There's your settlement fee. We'll transfer that over. What they can do is they can then do whatever they want. They can boost their company. They can grow their stock. They can kind of invest in the products that are clearly already working. Or Phillip Morris will be like, right, we'll take it a little bit further, or we can buy your company out and we will own it. You know, a company with that big of a market cap, you know, we're talking billions of dollars. I think this is another viable option. And if they were to buy it, I think this would be another win for us because they'll basically own that, be no patent infringement, and they would just run that company. And obviously we're looking at the Phillip Morris stock now, which is at $80. I think we could potentially see Hcmc grow even more and more. Or alternatively, which is the last one, which we don't want, they actually don't win the case. And what's going to happen is if they don't win the case, we're going to lose absolutely everything. So like I said, this is a very volatile, very high risk play, but the risk to reward benefits, I think, are right there. If it was me, but this is not financial advice, I would put a small amount in there because the percentages are so big, amount that you're not bothered losing. Stick your amount in there, keep hold of it, let it do its thing. Run it until the end of the year. If it runs out, it runs out. Making a lot of money and you're happy with those profits, take those profits. If they do get the settlement fee and they do win the actual lawsuit, typically you would see stocks go up a lot by this because obviously, like I said, they can invest that money into their stock. So we've seen examples of this in the past about patent infringement with Sony Ericsson and Samsung. There's been a lot of different examples throughout like time of history where their stock price has actually increased from the fact of them gaining that money. So let's get into into what my price prediction is and what I think this stock is going to do and how I'm going to play it. Well, I think down to the fact that Phillip Morris has now been asked to respond by the 26th of February, I think from now we will see the stock touch nearly 1 cent. And I think it's going to keep growing and keep growing. But I think 1 cent is a realistic amount that it's going to touch. Depending on what he replies with, I think depending on when it's going to grow, for a patent infringement or like a settlement fee to go through, this could take 6, 7, 8 months. Like, this is a very long process to get this done. And I'm pretty sure Phillip Morris, with that much money, is not going to go down without a fight to get to those $1 plus, and it actually to be successful. First things first, everything will need to work out. And secondly, I think this will take a very long time. So I think, you know, we could be looking at the start of 2022 to get those sort of gains. So my position, I got in at 0.0017. That's my position. So I got in right at the bottom. Obviously, I'm just deciding to do a video about this now, but I think, you know, there's a lot of evidence that's kind of stacking up behind. And like I said, patent infringement isn't something you just go around chucking out willy-nilly and just saying. It's quite serious within the business world. I believe this is an awesome play. I think it's definitely something to get behind. It could be one of those like life-changing moves that I definitely believe, in my opinion, that if you hold your money in there, you keep it in there, you can definitely make some really, really high percentages. Anyway, guys, let me know what you thought of the video. Any new news, comment it down below. Let me know what position you guys got in, and if you are playing this stock as of now. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.